Hey, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video from Tiny House and Off-Grid Resources. It's March 2022. Here's to the people who picked a mushroom and saw God. Here's to the people who... It's the second anniversary of COVID, and my creativity is being pushed to the limits. I found myself between houses. I've been told by certain commenters on my videos that I'm not allowed to call myself homeless because I do have a yard to live in. I'm houseless, technically speaking, according to them. Yeah, I'm living in my tiny little trailer because my house truck that I used to live in, I sold to finance the build of something a little more comfortable, and I've paid for and had to wait for the building materials for 7 weeks. Well, finally those building materials have arrived, and I've hurt my foot and I'm hobbling around on a crutch, so I can't get into the build. All of my household effects are stacked in banana boxes on my workbench, so I can't even stand in front of the workbench and do small projects. So as I say, my creativity's really pushed at the moment, but I've just done a series of videos on looking after ourselves in various respects. If you go onto my channel and click back a few videos, you'll see there's 3 or 4 really interesting videos about how to look after yourself, your health and your well-being in adverse situations. And let's face it, all of this at the moment is an adverse situation. So because I'm so limited in what I can show you, what I've done is emptied out my emergency deep storage cupboards, and I've got some potions and lotions and basic ingredients here. These things are out of my go-to cupboard. Instead of relying on pharmacies and doctors, I've bought some very interesting self-help medical books, and I've done an awful lot of research over years on the internet to find out about things that the normal pharmaceutical-based medical establishment won't share. Simple things like colloidal silver, which I did a video on the other day, and you'll find that up there. Other things like Epsom salts. Epsom salts is actually a derivative of magnesium, and getting magnesium into your body is absolutely fabulous for osteoporosis, arthritis, tired and soreness. As you get older, these minerals don't get taken up by your body as easily, so you have to supplement them. In times ahead, we might not be able to buy supplements in capsule forms, and we'll have to supplement ourselves. So that's why we're doing this today. I've got things here like commercially bought colloidal silver to show you that, yeah, it's available from pharmacies. It's got a price tag here on it. This was 21 New Zealand dollars for this small amount, whereas I make my own colloidal silver and it costs cents per gallon. Really does. So, as I say, that's in a previous video. Nutrients, trace elements and minerals. Very expensive if you buy them from the pharmacy, but if you analyse what stock food supplements have in them by reading the tiny print on the back of the packets, you'll find that it's a very balanced and well-specced source of nutrients and minerals that can be used in humans, because we're all mammals. The dose is per kilogram, so it's very easy to work out how much of this per day that you would need to get a good dose of your trace minerals and all the elements that you need. And it's a way cheaper way of buying it. Something that I've had for a while that I'm starting to run out of now, I don't know if I'll be able to get another one of these, glucosamine and chondroitin. Because I spent years riding dirt bikes, and with riding dirt bikes comes the other skill of falling off dirt bikes. Usually if you're riding a dirt bike, you'll fall off it a couple of times a day. As you get older, the body doesn't bounce back as well as it used to and needs help to repair soft tissue damage. This is awesome for joints and soft tissue repair. If I've pulled muscles or strained ligaments, this will literally halve the repair time. I can't recommend that stuff enough. Here's one that's going to curl a few people's toes. This stuff is called boron. Boron is an element that's mined from the ground. The trade name for it is borax, but it's just a mineral. It's a fine powder that has been used for many years for many domestic applications, such as making your own laundry detergent, ant killer. But it's also something that our bodies need in very small amounts. Boron is an unlocker. It's a key. It opens the cells and makes them more receptible to very important minerals like zinc and magnesium. If you're taking zinc and magnesium, it's really important as you get older to include a bit of boron too, because here in New Zealand we don't have boron in our soils. It's because they're largely volcanic in nature, and the volcanic soils don't contain boron, so we have to supplement it. Something else about supplementing minerals: people who have a nice diet of green leafy vegetables should be getting lots of minerals, right? Not nowadays. All of the vegetables and salad greens, things like that you buy from the supermarket are not grown in fields in the ground. They're grown in huge glass houses, vertical farming. It's hydroponics. And the hydroponic nutrients that they use don't include the minerals that our bodies need. The ingredients they put into the fluid that flows through the plants is only there to make them green, make them grow, and keep them looking good after they've been harvested for the maximum amount of time. They pay no attention to the physical needs of the human being. So you're not picking up any goodness out of store-bought salad vegetables. Grow your own if you possibly can. The boron, I mix this up with 1 teaspoon into a litre of filtered water. This needs to be dissolved in till it's absolutely clear, and that becomes your mother solution. I've got that here. This is your mother solution. What I do with this is I take 1 teaspoon of this liquid per day. I either put it into my cooking or I put it into a drink, or if I'm really desperate, I can just screw up my face and take it like medicine, but it tastes awful. It's like soapy water. So it's much better to mix it in with something. The difference this has made to my body at my age is incredible. It means that I can spend 15 or 20 minutes kneeling down on the floor reading the newspaper or doing a job at ground level, and I can jump up like a 25-year-old and head off to the next job. Whereas if I don't take this, it's a 3-stage process for me to stand up with a few old man noises thrown in for good measure. This stuff, I just thought of something. Because of the stupidity in a certain amount of people, I need to give some kind of disclaimer. So how about, what I do to myself is my business. You can choose to do anything that I suggest or tell you about to yourself, and it's got nothing to do with me. So go hard, have a great time, discover what you can get away with. Look, here's a shout out to those people who were the first people to try all the different things that were growing in the world. Here's to the people who picked a mushroom and saw God. Here's to the people who picked a mushroom and said, this tastes horrible. Here's to the people who picked a mushroom and died. This stuff really keeps me supple. It helps no end with osteoporosis and joint problems. I'm not going to go into any of these in really deep detail. I want you to go and do your own research. It means a lot more to do your own research. I'll throw the odd link up here to give you a place to start, but please, if one of these things catches your attention, go and learn more about it. So that's your boron and your colloidal silver. Another thing that isn't really a medicine but has medicinal properties is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is incredible for your gut health. It provides a balance. It aids digestion. It tastes lovely. You can mix it with, I don't do this myself, but I've got friends who mix this with a wee bit of lemon juice and honey and take it every morning religiously. My morning religion is actually to trot down to the bottom of the garden and get myself 3 lemons, and I juice those 3 lemons, mix them with one of these bottles full of water, and I knock that back before I eat or drink anything else. No sugar, just straight lemon juice in this much water. Juice of 3 lemons in one of these bottles comes up to about here. And I mix that with the rest of water, and I'll knock that back before breakfast, and it really puts a spark in my day. I miss it if I don't do it. Pure water. I don't put any water into my body that has come through the council water reticulation system. I've visited the water treatment plant in a couple of different towns. I've seen huge, large-scale ones, and I've seen small-scale institution water treatment plants. I used to know a private hospital that was out in the country, and because it was a private hospital, they had to put their water through an approved treatment regime because they were over a certain amount of people at the hospital, and their system was pretty haphazard. I've also visited the municipal water treatment station for a city of 300,000 people that's just down the coast from here, and I've seen the 6 or 7 chemicals that they put into it that are quite frightening when you read what's on the labels. So I prefer to use sky juice. I collect my water from the sky, I pass it through my ceramic gravity filter, which you'll find in a video up here, and I use that for all my cooking and baking and drinking. I mentioned the Epsom salts. In this pile I've also got citric acid. Citric acid, its normal use in the kitchen is in jam making and in sweets and lollies to give them a tang. If you like the little sour snakes and things like that, they're packed with citric acid. I use citric acid for mild industrial uses. I do derusting of metal with citric acid. It's relatively slow but safe. It can't destroy it can't destroy the metal. Citric acid is an acid, but it's a very mild acid. You can eat it and you can drink it within reason. So I use it for cleaning, sanitation. As I say, I take light rusting off metal with it, but it's a very useful thing to have around. It's also used as the activator in a medicinal treatment that is highly frowned upon by the establishment, and that's called MMS. It's known as the miracle mineral solution. And what it is fluorine dioxide. Now, dioxide means it has 2 oxygen elements in it. Those 2 oxygen atoms need to be unlocked before they can be absorbed by the body. And that's what the citric acid does. The 2 compounds are mixed together, they're left for 5 minutes to react, and then a very small amount of the liquid is drunk. And that oxygenates the body. It is being used by other people as a cure for the big C. And the big C I'm talking about is the earlier big C, the one that's been around for years, not the latest big C that everybody's worried about at the moment. Although it does also have effects on that, because many imbalances and sicknesses in the body are caused by the body becoming acidified. The opposite of acidification is alkalization. To alkalize the body, you must oxygenate the body. And that brings me on to the last thing that I want to show you. And that's baking soda. Baking soda is bicarbonate of soda. Once again, it's not a made product, it's just a mined mineral. And not to be confused with baking powder. Baking powder contains baking soda, but has retarders in it to slow it down. If you're baking something that you want to be light and fluffy really fast, like scones or biscuits, then you'll use baking soda. If you want something to rise slowly, like a cake or bread, you would use baking powder or yeast. My uses for baking soda, wow, where to start? I'll put baking soda on an ulcer in my mouth. I'll make a wee paste of it and use it on a cold sore on my lips perhaps. I use it for general sanitation of all surfaces in the kitchen. Yeah, I also use hydrogen peroxide, I use citric acid, but this is something else you can use. When we haven't got access to the things that we're used to being able to just go and pull off the shelves that are already made, like laundry detergents and washing up liquids and cleaning products for the kitchen and the bathroom, you can resort to baking soda and vinegar. They are the two basic ingredients that really cut through grease, kill germs and sanitize surfaces. So you can rely on these things. Something I've got here that I'm very excited about, that I get a lot of use out of. Hard for you to read here, but it's food grade hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is another very powerful oxidizer. It's used in all sorts of cleaning products. It's safe to consume if it's diluted to the correct potency. I buy this at 7.5%. and then water it down 50-50 to make the well-known 3.5% medical grade that people can use as a mouthwash. They can bleach their hair with it. They can put it in their ears to dissolve earwax. It's very powerful and very safe, and in times like this I recommend bypassing the chemist and going straight to an industrial supplier and buying food grade hydrogen peroxide. It's available up to 36% potency. If you buy 36%, be very careful how you handle it. It's powerful. Make sure that it's in well-marked containers, and make sure that it is diluted down to at least 3.6% before you use it anywhere on your body. The second ingredient in most of these things that I make is distilled water. I use this particular brand because it's always in the supermarket when I need it. I know that that could change at any moment, so I've actually bought several of these and stacked them under the house in the dark. They're sealed in plastic containers, they're in the dark, they should be fine for years. I'm not sure if I should be showing you this because it's pretty special. This is called DMSO. It's DiMethylSulfOxide. It's a natural product that's derived from pine trees, therefore it can't be patented. It's not used by the normal pharmaceutical medical establishment because it's not a product that they can make money out of, but it is an incredible painkiller. I've been told that it's got similar efficacy to morphine, but with no side effects and with no risk of addiction. You mix DMSO 50-50 with distilled water and put it in a small bottle, and you apply it externally to muscle strains, bruising, ligament damage, anything like that. It's systemic which means you can rub it on the sole of your feet and it will fix your toothache. You can rub it into your scalp and it will fix your sore elbow. It's incredible. Once it's in, it works by numbing the pain receptors, and you use a tiny amount of it. This bottle is going to be like gold for me. I'm so pleased that I found somewhere that sells it. In New Zealand, it used to be banned. It's now available again, but it's hard to find. So remember the name, DiMethylSulfOxide DMSO. It's incredible stuff. I recommend that you get this and you put it into your medical kit. I'm going to whip over to the computer now and I'm going to pull up a few pages, throw you guys some links, and I'm going to read out some information on some of these because it's a little bit much for me to remember all of the details. Right, let's start with DMSO. I've pulled up a page here on DiMethylSulfOxide, and I'm going to just quickly read through the preface. I'm going to quickly read through the preface so that you can get an idea of what it is and what it can do for you. DMSO, or dimethylsulfoxide, has been used for many years by athletes to treat painful muscles and joints. DMSO builds up the white blood cells and increases immune production of migration inhibitory factors by macrophages. DMSO has been associated with a number of therapeutic benefits, such as the healing of wounds, its use as an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, interesting, and antifungal. It softens collagen. It helps eliminate hydroxyl free radicals in the body. It stimulates the immune system. It increases interferon formation, reduces the number of platelet thrombi. It is a potent diuretic. DMSO skin remedies are useful in treating tropical fungal infections. DMSO health benefits. On this page you will find hundreds of DMSO reviews from Earth Clinic readers dating back over the last 20 years. Everything from how DMSO alleviated pain to DMSO for herpes. Our readers have created a number of discussions over the use of DMSO for migraines, burns, hair loss, scars, wound treatment, muscle strain, even for tics. Check this page for a list of ailments treated with DMSO, and also do a site-wide search to discover many more ways DMSO has been used. Here's a few links to help people buy DMSO. Possibly they only refer to suppliers in the United States, but I just searched DMSO New Zealand and I found a supplier within 10 seconds. I contacted them through the website, paid over the internet, received it 2 days later. Job done. Next thing I want to show you is baking soda. We'll go to the one right at the top. What is baking soda and how does it work? Baking soda is one of the most widely used leaveners in baked goods. The simple chemical compound, also known as sodium bicarbonate, is found in crystalline form in nature, but is ground to a fine powder for use in cooking. How does baking soda work? Baking soda is an alkaline compound that, when combined with an acid, will produce carbon dioxide gas. The small bubbles of carbon dioxide become trapped in the batter, causing it to inflate or rise. Common acids used to create this reaction include vinegar, lemon juice, or citric acid, which I mentioned earlier, buttermilk, yogurt, and cream of tartare. Baking soda will also produce gas upon decomposition caused by heat. No acid is necessary for this reaction to take place. Do you understand what that means? I'll read it again. Baking soda will also produce gas upon decomposition caused by heat. The gas it releases is CO2, carbon dioxide. That means that if you have a fire in your kitchen, you can put baking soda over the fire. As it heats, it releases carbon dioxide and puts out the fire. Winning. Let's have a look at borax. What is borax and how to use it? Borax is a compound of boron, a natural mineral. It's also known as sodium borate, sodium tetraborate, or disodium tetraborate. Uses of borax: teeth bleaching products, flame retardant, laundry booster, household cleaner, home insulation, pesticide. Borax is a natural mineral with a chemical formula blah 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 blah. Borax is also known as sodium borate. So, oh, we read that. Did you know the common usage of the term borax refers to a group of related compound distinguished by their water content? That's the only difference. Right, reading through here, it's not telling you anything about using boron, borax as a medical supplement. Boron is a mineral that is simply an activator. It helps to activate or cause many other functions to happen within the body. Remember what I said? It's an unlocker, it's a key. It opens the cells so that they can take on the beneficial minerals. Let's keep reading. Boron is one of the main minerals used in the bone building process. Boron initiates estrogen by helping to convert vitamin D into an active state. The estrogen then improves the absorption of calcium. Boron also helps metabolism to take place within the bone. With this metabolism properly functioning, osteoporosis is not a major factor in a person's health. Once osteoporosis sets in, boron can play a major role in helping the body to replace lost calcium. Boron also assists in preventing arthritis and tooth decay. Boron is one of the minerals necessary for building and repairing joint cartilage. Boron is essential in maintaining the correct levels of calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus in the body. Boron helps to regulate hormones, especially estrogen and testosterone. In these days, wouldn't it be nice to know that you were going to stay as what you were born as instead of wandering off into another gender? Boron also helps maintain brain function and memory capabilities. Haha, can't you tell? Boron deficiency can cause cell walls to become very weak and fragile, rendering the cells incapable of properly transferring nutrients to them. The body depends on boron for performing most of its functions. With its interactions with calcium and other minerals, boron is a very important part of a long chain that entwines all the minerals necessary for individual cell growth and health. Why isn't it pushed by the medical system? Simple. It's an element. It appears on the periodic table of the elements. Therefore, it can't be patented. If it can't be patented, what's the point in marketing it? Boron is essential for all life in plants as well as animals. Boron is essential for the integrity and function of cell walls and the way signals are transmitted across cellular membranes. When ingested, it reacts with hydrochloric acid in the stomach to form boric acid. Ingested boron compounds are rapidly and nearly completely excreted in the urine. Chemical fertilizers inhibit the uptake of boron from the soil. An organic apple grown in rich soil may have up to 20 milligrams of boron, but if it's grown with fertilizer, it may only have 1 milligram of boron. Remember what I said earlier about New Zealand not having much boron in the soil because we're largely a volcanic chain of islands. This is why New Zealanders need boron. The average intake of boron in developed countries today is only 1 to 2 milligrams of boron per day. That is why I use that solution. I've been amazed at the difference it makes to my well-being. What else can we look up? We've discussed boron, we've discussed baking soda. There's the videos that I did the other week on water treatment using ceramic pots. There's the other video that discusses making colloidal silver and the benefits of colloidal silver. If you've got any ideas or you've got any questions, ask them down below in the questions. I love chatting to you guys. It's great fun. Because most of you guys are in the other hemisphere, when I get up in the morning, I find myself with 20 to 30 to 40 questions to answer. Some of them are a bit naff, but a lot of them teach me things. I love interacting with you guys. Thank you for watching my videos. If you like this kind of thing, if you like to see something made out of nothing, why not subscribe to the channel and keep an eye on what I'm doing? And I'm not going to say at the end of my video, I'll see you in the next video, because I won't. You'll see me. I hope that's okay. Because in times like this, we've got to stick together and help each other. I live in a very quiet part of the country. I don't see a lot of people on a day-to-day basis, but by having this YouTube channel, I'm able to get out to hundreds of thousands of people with each video and share things that I've learned over my long and interesting life. So if you care about your body, you care about the planet, you care about other people, subscribe to the channel, keep an eye on what I'm doing, and we'll catch up in the next video, okay?